9 of the Iran-US-Israel war, and the conflict is now taking a dramatic new turn. Iran has a new supreme leader, and his first message to the world comes not in words but in missiles. Israel is already warning that the new leader could be a target, and Donald Trump says he won't accept him. And now Russia and China are stepping in, backing Tehran and warning Washington and Tel Aviv. So here are the 4 big developments we are tracking. 1. Iran's Revolutionary Guard salutes the new leader with a missile barrage. 2. What Mojtaba Khamenei's rise means for Iran's war strategy. 3. Why Israel and Trump are already talking about eliminating him. And 4. How Russia and China are now entering the diplomatic battlefield. Let's begin with the moment Iran unveiled its new supreme leader. And there you have it. Iran has a new supreme leader, and his name is Mojtaba Khamenei, the son of the late Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The 56-year-old cleric has long been one of the most powerful figures in Iran, even without holding an official position. Known for his deep ties to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Mojtaba was widely seen as the man who was quietly shaping power behind the scenes. But now the shadow prince of Iran has stepped into the center of authority, and the Revolutionary Guard wasted no time signaling its loyalty. Now, within hours of Mojtaba Khamenei's assuming power, the IRGC launched a fresh barrage of some of Iran's most powerful missiles. Footage broadcast by Iranian state outlets showed a chilling detail. One missile had a message painted directly on its body: "At your service, Mojtaba." It was a public declaration of loyalty and a warning to Iran's enemies. The missiles launched included some of Iran's most advanced systems: Khorramshahr, Fateh, and Khyber missiles, along with waves of drones, literally. The operation was given a symbolic name, Aliya Waliya Allah. What this actually means or references is the Shia belief that leadership should pass to Prophet Muhammad's chosen successor, Ali. For Iran's leadership, the message was clear: continuity of power, continuity of war, and the impact was immediate. Air raid sirens blared across parts of Israel as the missiles flew in waves, forcing residents into shelters amid fears of a larger escalation. At the same time, the US military confirmed additional American soldier deaths in the region, casualties that coincided with Iran's renewed missile campaign. For Tehran, the transition of leadership was not a moment of uncertainty, it was a show of force. But Mojtaba Khamenei's elevation is more than succession. It could reshape how Iran wages this war. For years, Mojtaba operated as one of the most influential figures inside Iran's political system, despite never holding an elected office. His influence came through his deep connections with Iran's clerical establishment and the Revolutionary Guard. Analysts say that combination matters because it strengthens the role of Iran's security state at the very top of power. In other words, Iran's political and military leadership may now be more tightly fused than ever before. That could mean fewer internal constraints and a greater willingness to escalate this war. The man once described as Iran's shadow prince is now officially the leader of the Islamic Republic, and his first days in power are unfolding right in the middle of a war. But even before Mojtaba Khamenei settles into power, a stark warning is already emerging from Israel. The IDF have indicated that any successor to Ali Khamenei, who continues Iran's hostile posture towards Israel, could become a legitimate target. And former Israeli ambassador to the United States, Michael Oren, put it very bluntly. In an interview, he said that if any Iranian leader declares a continued campaign to destroy Israel, then Israel could see itself as quote-unquote duty-bound to eliminate that leader. Now, that comes on the back of Donald Trump making his opposition very clear to Mojtaba Khamenei's rise. Even before his appointment, Trump told Axios in an interview that Khamenei's son would be unacceptable. Speaking to ABC News after that, Trump went on to say that if he doesn't, that is, if Mojtaba Khamenei doesn't get approval from us, he's not going to last long. In other words, Iran's new leader may already have a target on his back. But as tensions escalate, two global powers are now signaling full support for Tehran and Mojtaba Khamenei. Russian President Vladimir Putin has expressed what he calls unwavering support for Iran's new supreme leader. In a message to Mojtaba Khamenei, Putin said that Russia would remain a reliable partner to Iran, especially at a time when Tehran is facing what he called armed aggression. The Kremlin's message was clear: Moscow is standing by Iran. China has also, of course, stepped in. Beijing warned against any external interference in Iran's leadership transition. The Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson said that the selection of Iran's supreme leader is a matter of Iran's internal sovereignty, and he stressed that Iran's territorial integrity and security must be respected. So while missiles are flying in the Middle East, a larger geopolitical battle may now be taking shape, with Russia and China positioning themselves behind Tehran's new leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. That's all for now. See you same time tomorrow for another edition of the US-Iran-Israel War Dispatch.